You think being lazy is just a bad habit. No, laziness is the quiet destroyer of dreams. Every time you wake up and press snooze, you're not just getting 5 extra minutes of rest. You're giving away parts of your potential. That stops now. What you do in the first hour after waking up sets the course for your entire life. If you want strength, focus, and discipline, do this every single morning, without skipping. You think the hardest part of your day is your workout, your job, or your tasks. It's not. The real challenge is right at the start. That first moment when you open your eyes. Will you get up or will you stay still? That 1 second decides everything. Because in that short space between sleep and action, your mind is soft. It's waiting for direction. If you pause even a little, comfort will take over. You'll stay in bed, check your phone, and fall into the trap of scrolling and stalling. And by the time you finally get up, you've already lost your edge. You began the day by giving in. Laziness doesn't always yell at whispers. It's in that quiet urge to stay under the covers a bit longer. It tells you you've earned it. It says you're tired, but that's the trick. That small delay grows quickly. 1 minute turns into 10. 10 turns into an hour. Before you even realize it, your morning is gone. And so is your drive. The truth is, the biggest enemy you'll face today isn't out in the world. It's right there next to you, in bed, and the only way to win is to beat it before it says a word. The alarm clock isn't just a sound, it's a challenge. Answer it. What many people don't see is that your brain adjusts to whatever habits you allow. If you keep choosing to delay, you're training your mind to accept average. Every time you put off action, you make weakness stronger. Your brain starts to look for comfort to want it, and when hard things come later in the day, and they will, your ability to handle them is already gone. You'll put them off, skip them, and tell yourself, I'll do it later. But later never creates greatness. Greatness grows in the discomfort you decide to face, not the comfort you run toward. The second your eyes open, you start teaching yourself who you are. This isn't just about waking up early. It's about showing yourself, right at the start of your day, that you are in control, that you're not ruled by tiredness, emotions, or what's going on around you. That even when there's an easy way in front of you, you'll still choose the path of discipline. Because discipline isn't easy, it's earned. It's built in the moments when nobody is watching, when there's no praise, no audience, just you, your decisions, and where your life is headed. The strongest people you look up to, they don't feel more motivated than you. They've just stopped arguing with weakness. The power of those first 5 seconds is massive. You don't need a long morning routine to change your life. You need to decide and act fast every day. When your alarm rings, don't wait. Don't overthink it. Get up. Put your feet on the ground. You've already won. That first action builds momentum. That momentum shapes your thinking. And that mindset touches everything else you do. Suddenly, your workout feels less heavy. Your goals seem closer. Your words carry more power. Why? Because you started the day with strength, not by giving up. And here's something most won't admit. If you can't win the fight with your blankets, how will you win the fight for your future? If you keep losing to small resistance, how will you ever overcome life's big tests? The person who gets up when it's difficult, who refuses to settle, who takes action even without feeling like it, that person becomes unbeatable, not because they're lucky, but because they made a firm choice. A choice to stop wasting their mornings, a choice to stop delaying their life, a choice to rise no matter what. Making your bed might seem like a small thing. It's quick, it's simple, it doesn't take much effort. And that's what makes it powerful. How you treat the small things shows how you'll handle the big things. Most people ignore it. They think it's no big deal. But if you can't stick to making your bed, how will you stick to your real goals? This isn't about being perfect. It's about being disciplined, about showing up for yourself, even in the small parts, especially when nobody's watching. Your bed is the first test of the day. Win there, and you begin building the attitude of someone who finishes what they start. There's something deep that happens when you complete a task at the very start of your day. It tells your mind, we're not here to coast. We're here to take control. That simple act of straightening your sheets, fixing your pillows, it tells you, I care, I'm prepared. Most people enter their day in a mess mentally and physically. They wonder why they feel lost or behind all the time. But when you start your day with order, it changes how you feel. You become more focused, more purposeful. even proud. Because you didn't wait for motivation, you created drive. Laziness doesn't always show up as doing nothing. Sometimes it hides in the way we avoid small details. We leave tasks half done. We skip what feels too minor to matter. But small things matter the most because they add up. When you often ignore simple tasks like making your bed, you teach your mind that it's okay to live in disorder. And once mess becomes normal around you, it becomes normal in your thinking too. You expect less, you accept less, and that attitude seeps into every part of your life. Keeping your space clean isn't just about how it looks. It clears your mind. It raises your personal standards. Think about it. When you come back to your room after a long, tiring day, and your bed is neat, there's a shift in how you feel. It's peaceful. It's welcoming. You're not returning to a mess, you're returning to something that shows your effort. That changes how you see yourself. It builds self-respect. Because deep down, you can tell the difference between a day where you were focused and one where you were just trying to get by. Making your bed won't guarantee success. But not doing it means you missed a simple chance to begin strong. Some people say, I don't have time. But that's just another excuse pretending to be logic. Making your bed takes 2 minutes, and if you can't find 2 minutes for yourself, for your own standards, what else are you skipping? This is about the type of person you're becoming. Are you someone who leaves things half finished, or someone who sees things through? Someone who walks by a mess and says whatever? Or someone who says, not today? When you make your bed, you're not just fixing a room, you're reminding yourself, I have control over how this day starts. Being consistent with small habits builds trust in yourself, and trust in yourself is the root of true confidence. Every time you follow through on something, even small, you're proving that your word means something. You're building a foundation that will carry you when the challenges get harder and the path gets steeper. Something as simple as making your bed music shows you that your promises actually matter, that you're not just talking about what you'll do, you're doing it. And when that becomes part of your identity, laziness begins to fade. It can't survive where taking action is not up for debate. Music. So tomorrow morning when you stand up, don't ignore your bed like it doesn't count. Fix it, own it, and start your day like someone who's already ahead. Getting into a cold shower right after waking up isn't just about shaking off sleep, it's about waking up your willpower. It's a challenge both for your mind and your body that needs instant bravery. When you reach for that knob and the freezing water starts falling, your mind will yell no. It will beg you for comfort, for warmth, for safety. But that moment is pure gold, because when you decide to step in anyway, when you pick discomfort instead of ease, you're changing the game. You're showing your brain that fear doesn't make your choices, you do. And that's where real strength starts. The cold doesn't just touch your skin, it sharpens your attention, it drags you into the now. There's no space for distraction, no place for excuses, no mental cloud, just you, your breath, and your control. And that sharp focus spreads into everything else you do afterward. Your thinking becomes quicker, your energy rises, your mood shifts. Why? Because you've already done something hard while others are still checking their phones. That one act of will becomes fuel for your entire day. It's not the water itself that changes you, it's the decision to face it head on. Most people plan their mornings around comfort, soft sheets, dim lights, easy habits. But comfort is a trap. It feels nice right then, but it robs you long-term. Comfort is where laziness is born. It's where dreams start fading and fire dies. When you willingly step into discomfort, you change everything. You stop being pushed around by emotions. You stop wishing for easier days. You become someone who meets difficulty and keeps pushing through. A cold shower is a physical shout. I choose challenge. I choose strength. I choose to rise even when it's painful. And there's something even deeper when you train your body to deal with stress without freaking out. You build real emotional strength. That freezing water hits and your body wants to pull back, to tighten, to run away. But you breathe, stay loose, and stay there. You learn to stay steady in the middle of chaos. That's not just body training, that's life training, because stress will show up. Pressure will show up. Life won't ask if you're ready. But when you've trained yourself to calmly face stress every morning, you're no longer controlled by the world around you. You've taken back the wheel. Some people will ask, why go through that? Why make your morning tougher than it needs to be? The answer is easy, because life is tough, because growth comes with pain, because greatness isn't found in the easy stuff. It's built through the things most people avoid. Cold showers aren't about staying clean. They're about toughness, about starting your day with a win, about proving to yourself and nobody else that you don't need to feel ready to take action. You act first. The feeling comes later. That change in thinking is powerful. It turns discipline into your way of life. And once it becomes who you are, laziness has no chance. And here's a truth most won't admit: being disciplined feels better than being comfortable ever could. Not in the moment, but afterward, after you've done the difficult thing, after you've stood in the cold and didn't give up. That's where confidence grows. That's where self-worth is built. It's not about punishing yourself. It's about unlocking what you're really capable of. Because if you can face the cold every morning and still rise, what else can actually stop you? Not much. That's the kind of thinking that creates unstoppable people. And it all begins with one move. Step in. Your body was never meant to sit still all day. Movement is your nature, your energy source. You're on switch, but most people start the day without moving. They slowly go from bed to couch to kitchen while staring at a screen with their body barely awake. That's not just lazy, it's risky. Because when your body stays still, your energy stays low, your focus fades, your fire burns out before it starts. If you want to kill laziness, you need to move your body, not later, not when it's easier, right now. Even just 10 minutes of movement in the morning can totally change how you feel. It doesn't have to be a hard workout. You don't need fancy stuff or a gym pass. You just need to move with purpose. Focused, clear movement that tells your body, we are alive and ready. Whether it's stretching, jogging, push-ups, jumping jacks, yoga, or just dancing in your room like you mean it, what matters is you're waking your body up with purpose. You're getting blood flowing, endorphins releasing, and you're training your brain to link mornings with power. Not sitting still. Moving isn't optional if you want to dominate the day. It's necessary. There's a direct link between moving your body and building momentum for your whole day. When you begin your day in motion, your brain gets the message it's time to go. Your body affects your mind. You think sharper, your confidence grows, you stand prouder, move with strength, think more clearly. That change in your body becomes a weapon against laziness, because laziness loves low energy, and low energy isn't always from poor sleep. It's often from not enough movement. You don't need more coffee, you need more motion. The more you move, the more energy you produce. Energy isn't something you wait for, it's something you make. Most people delay action until they feel good, but movement flips that whole idea. The truth is, when you move first, your emotions catch up. Action brings feelings, not the other way around. You don't wait to get motivated. Move, you move, and then motivation shows up. That's the mistake people make. When they're lazy, they sit around waiting for the right mood, the right time, the right push. But life doesn't give out rewards for waiting. It gives rewards for action. So stop waiting for a spark and build your own momentum. Go through the resistance. Move when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. And here's something people rarely say: moving your body also strengthens your mind. Toughness isn't just about how hard something is. It's about what it teaches you. Every rep, every step, every breath through the discomfort is a message to your mind that quitting is not your natural choice. You build strength in those tiny moments. You prove to yourself that effort is who you are. Even if today doesn't feel perfect, you're still showing up. That kind of mental toughness is priceless. It separates the people who just talk about success from the ones who actually make it happen. It all starts with action. What you do with your body in the morning reflects how you'll carry yourself the rest of the day. If you begin slowly, with hesitation and weak choices, don't be shocked when that lazy energy sticks with you. But if you begin with strength, with deliberate movement, you set yourself up for greatness. You tell your body, we're not sitting this day out, we're stepping into it fully. That decision builds momentum. Momentum becomes movement forward, and daily movement forward destroys what keeps most people stuck. Laziness. Move first, and everything else will follow you. Gratitude isn't just a soft feeling you quietly mention at dinner. It's a mental tool, a weapon that crushes laziness, fear, and self-pity before they even start. But most people skip it. They get out of bed and walk straight into worry, thinking about what they don't have, what went wrong, what they still haven't done. But when you begin your day with thankfulness, you take charge of your thinking. You don't wait for the day to make you feel good. You build your own strong mindset before the world even wakes up. It's easy to think about what's missing. Your brain naturally looks for problems, threats, and holes. But the most powerful people train themselves to look at what's already there, not in some fake, forced way, but in a real, mindful practice. They list every morning what they're thankful for: the air in their lungs, the roof over their head, the chance to try again. This doesn't mean they don't have big goals. It means they start their day feeling full, not empty. When you do that, laziness starts to fall away because you're not waiting for life to feel right before you take action. You act from gratitude, not anger. Gratitude changes your body too. It's not just about how you think, it's about how your brain reacts. When you feel truly thankful, your brain gives you dopamine and serotonin, in the chemicals that drive motivation and happiness. That's not some guess, that's proven science. You build your own energy when you focus on what's good. And that energy, it kills laziness. Laziness grows in negative thoughts. It lives in the story that nothing is working, that it's pointless, or that you'll never make it. But thankfulness breaks that story. It replaces the victim mindset with power, and power moves, power grows, power doesn't sit still. One of the biggest lies we're told is that to be successful, you have to always be pushing hard, always chasing something. But without gratitude, all that chasing feels empty. You burn out, you disconnect, and soon you stop caring. That's where laziness takes over, not because you're lazy, but because you've lost your reason. Gratitude gives that reason back. It reminds you why you started, it grounds you, it lifts you, and it gives you a reason to keep going even when things feel heavy. Because if you can wake up and find even one thing to be thankful for, you've already started your day with a reason. Some people say, I don't have anything to be thankful for. But that's not true. That's just not seeing clearly. If you're breathing, thinking, reading this, able to move, able to grow, that's already enough. Gratitude doesn't wait for life to be perfect. It honors progress. It honors possibility. It says, even if I'm not where I want to be, I'm still on the path. That mindset is dangerous to laziness because it sparks a fire. It reminds you of your own power, and when you remember your power, you stop making excuses. You start making progress. Every morning, name 3 things you're thankful for. Say them out loud. Write them down. Really feel them, let them sink into you. This isn't just some habit. It's a whole new way of thinking, because when you start your day in gratitude, everything shifts. Your energy feels cleaner. Your decisions are stronger. Your heart feels lighter, and when life throws hard things at you, and it will, your daily habit of thankfulness becomes your shield. Laziness cannot survive in someone who knows how lucky they already are. Gratitude makes you strong. Not later, but right now. Most people begin their day by reacting. They open their eyes and instantly grab their phone, scrolling through messages, updates, and news filled with noise and stress. Their mind isn't guiding the day. It's being taken over by outside chaos. And in that delicate moment just after waking up, the tone of the whole day gets decided by distraction. But when you grab hold of your thoughts before anything else, when you choose focus instead of noise, you're not just avoiding laziness, you're defeating it before it even shows up. Because clear thinking always beats confusion. Every single time thinking on purpose in the morning is not just a feel. Good thing it's a real plan, a habit, a promise to shape your mind like you shape your body. You sit alone, even if it's just 5 minutes, and ask yourself the tough questions. What do I truly want today? Who am I becoming? What do I need a beat before the world even starts moving? You don't sit around waiting to feel inspired. You build that feeling by giving your mind a direction. Because if you have no clear goal, laziness takes over. But when your mind is sharp and clear, you walk with meaning. You don't guess, you take action. This is where writing in your journal, saying affirmations, or imagining your success comes in, not as something trendy, but as real tools to change how your brain works. Every morning, you write what you want, who you are, and how you plan to show up. You picture your future before it even shows up. You speak life into your dreams instead of letting fear kill them. That's not fantasy, that's being a leader, leading yourself, the kind of self-control that creates unstoppable people, because those who spend time thinking clearly in the morning are not controlled by feelings, they're guided by vision. And vision always beats laziness. The truth is, most people don't control their mind, they let their surroundings, their past, their mood decide how they act, what they believe, and how they live. But thinking with purpose in the morning is how you break that trap. It's when you choose what kind of energy you're bringing to your day instead of letting others decide for you. It's how you plant your feet before life tries to push you down. And when you do that every day without skipping it, you start seeing something strong. You stop just making it through the day and start taking charge of it. This kind of routine doesn't show up on its own. It's a choice, an everyday one. And yes, it won't be easy in the beginning. Sitting quietly with your own thoughts might feel strange. It might show you things you've been hiding from, but that's the reason it works. That's where the change begins. You can't beat laziness if you keep running from your mind face. Your thoughts shape them, control them. When you wake up and think with purpose before the world gets loud, you take the wheel. And someone who drives their own mind doesn't get pulled by distractions or delays. They choose, they act, they succeed. So before anyone asks anything from you, before your phone buzzes, before your to-do list screams at you, give your mind 5 minutes of stillness, 5 minutes of clear thinking. That's all, 5 minutes to remember who you are and what you're here for. That's not wasting time. That's the strongest gift you can give yourself, because once your mind is steady, nothing can shake you off course. Laziness can't survive when you're crystal clear. You just have to choose to think first before doing anything else. That's how you turn a quiet morning into a launch pad for powerful action. Every single day, most people wake up and instantly jump into reaction mode, stuck in the same routine they did yesterday. No energy, no direction, no fire. But when you make a morning deal with yourself, a strong decision about who you are and what matters to you, everything shifts. That promise becomes your guide. It clears away the cloud of doubt and confusion. You don't wait for motivation. You remind yourself that your life is your duty, that you're not here to float through life. You're here to rise. One honest sentence said with belief can carry you through the hardest moments. That's not just talk, that's strength. This isn't about saying nice words to yourself. This is about making a bold promise, a serious agreement with the future you. Stand in front of the mirror, stare into your own eyes, and speak a truth so bold, so solid, that your brain can't ignore it. Something like, if I don't give up, I don't wait, I put in the work. Every day, no excuses. You're not sitting around hoping someone will cheer you on. You become your own biggest believer. He voice that believes. That voice echoes. It cuts through laziness like a sharp blade, because you're no longer wondering whether you'll show up today. You've already made that decision, and when you repeat that promise again and again, something inside changes. It stops being just words. It becomes who you are. It goes from something you say to something you truly live. That's the real change. The lazy version of you doesn't vanish in one day, but every time you speak that promise, you take away some of its control. You make it smaller, less powerful, and in its place you grow into someone who doesn't stop, someone who stays focused, someone who leads themselves. This isn't just dreaming, it's training your mind. The most successful people out there, they don't just control time or habits. They shape their identity. This is how they do it. Let's be honest. This doesn't mean you'll never feel worn out, never feel unsure, never feel like quitting. You will. That's just part of being human. But that's exactly where your promise steps in and saves you. Because when your emotions try to pull you off the path, that promise you made pulls you back. It reminds you who you really are. It reminds you that being disciplined isn't about feeling amazing. It's about keeping your word. You made a commitment to yourself, and if you can't stick to that, then what can you rely on? That's why people who stay lazy just drift. They've never truly committed to themselves, and even if they did, they didn't stay loyal to it. Making a promise every single morning builds inner honesty. And being honest with yourself isn't about being perfect. It's about being in sync, saying what you mean and doing exactly what you say. That kind of steady follow-through builds deep confidence. Not fake confidence, but the kind you build day after day. You start to believe in yourself. You don't need a coach, a fan, or an audience. You've got your own back. That's where real freedom comes from. Because when you trust yourself, laziness has nowhere to stay. It can't grow in a mind that's already decided to fight against being average. You've got a mission, and you're showing up for it. So say the words each morning. Say them loud, with strength, without apology, even if your voice is shaky, even if you don't fully believe it yet. Especially then, say, I don't give in to weakness. I don't delay my greatness. I rise, I act, I lead. Make that your habit, not just for hype, but to stay in line with who you are. Because when your words line up with your actions, and your actions match your goals, then nothing can block you. Not tiredness, not fear, not laziness, and all of that begins with one promise. One strong sentence that says, this is who I am now. Then prove it, every single day. If you really want to destroy laziness, it starts this moment. Not tomorrow, not later. Don't just hear this and scroll past. Take action, get up, move your body, say your promise out loud, choose to be clear, choose progress, choose yourself. This isn't just another day. This is your chance to change who you are. So here's your challenge. Tomorrow morning, before the noise of the world gets to you, get to yourself. Do everything we talked about. No skipping, no excuses. Just watch how fast your world changes when you take charge of your mornings. And if this message struck something in you, if it lit a spark inside, then pass it on to someone who needs it, because we climb higher when we climb together. Let's create a wave of self-discipline, of strength, of people who don't wait to feel inspired. They make it. Your new life doesn't begin someday. It starts with what you do.